Welcome to my Stanley Cup prediction between the Florida Panthers and the Edmonton Oilers. Now, I'll be throwing a bunch of stats at your face, mostly steak and potato ones. We'll talk about them. I'll also give you, my X factor and, who has the edge at each position. And then finally, my prediction. But before we get started, I just wanted to say on Friday, June 28th for the NHL entry draft, I'll be doing some live coverage of that. So I'd love to chat with you live online as well. Usually I start about 30 minutes or so before it begins, and it's going to be the last time it's going to be live before it goes remote from this point on, and it'll be in Vegas in the Sphere, so it should be pretty interesting compared to years past. Also, on Monday, July 1st, NHL free agency begins, and I'll be doing a live feed at some point during the day then too, so keep your eyes open for that. Throw it down on the calendar. Lastly, please don't forget to give me a thumbs up. It really helps the algorithm. And smash that subscribe button. Or don't. Do what you want. Life's too short. Now, at the end of the regular season, the Edmonton Oilers finished second in the Pacific. Panthers finished first in the Atlantic. Overall in the NHL, the Oilers were ninth with 104 points. The Panthers were fifth with 110. And now this is where we get into a bunch of playoff stats. Starting with goals for, of course, Edmonton's first was 63. Florida's second was 55, an 8-goal difference there. But remember, Florida's played one less game. Goals against, the Oilers have the second most with 47. Panthers fourth most with 39. And Dallas sits in the first spot here with 48. Now the power play, obviously the Oilers are first at 37.3%. Oh my God. Now, it kind of stuttered there, I want to say in the Vancouver series somewhat, but they got it back together. Florida is sixth on the power play at 23.3%. But I mean, look at the difference in goalies each team faced, right? I mean, the Oilers were what? Talbot, Sheloves, and Ottinger, who wasn't as good as everyone thought he would be. And the Panthers got Vasilevsky, Swayman, Shesterkin, just a murderer's row of goaltenders. In any case, just keep that in mind. Now, the penalty kill, Oilers are in first at 93.9%. This really surprised me. They've really improved on this a lot. The Panthers in second with 88.2. Penalty minutes, the Oilers sit in third with 171 in these playoffs so far. Of course, the Panthers are first with 207. Boston, though, still sits in second, although only going 2 rounds, with 191. Impressive. Hits, Edmonton sits in third with 563. Panthers first with 739. Blocks, Oilers are third with 305. Panthers fourth with 267. I actually thought that would be the opposite. Now, giveaways. This is interesting. The Oilers are second in the playoffs with 142. Again, you take in mind the games played. Panthers are in first with 161, but I think that has something to do with the way they play. Dump the puck in, beat the hell out of the defenseman who touches it first, and then take it from him and score, right? That's sort of what they've been doing so far. Takeaways, Edmonton sits in second with 134, Florida third with 130, and Dallas in first with 184. 50 more than Edmonton. Wow, that was a good team. I still can't believe they lost. I think they just ran out of gas. I mean, they went through Vegas and Colorado for starters, right? So, goal leaders. Now, let's start with Edmonton. Zach Hyman leads all NHL players, actually with 14. Draisaitl's next at 10 with Edmonton. And then Bouchard and RNH each have 6. For Florida, Verhaeghe has 9. Reinhart has 8. And Bennett and Barkov both have 6. Now, who has more goals from their D-core? Well, Edmonton's got 14. 6 of those are from Evan Bouchard, 4 from Ekholm. Florida's got 9, 5 less. Remember, they played 1 less game. And Forsling has 4, and Montour has 3. Goaltenders. Stuart Skinner has been 11-5 so far in these playoffs with an .897 save percentage and 1 shutout. Bobrovsky has played all the games, unlike Skinner, is 12-5 and is a .908 save percentage. Edmonton's backup, Calvin Pickard, is 1-1 with a .915 save percentage. Not bad. And Anthony Stolaraz, or is it Stolars, hasn't played a game, but during the regular season, he was 16-7 with a .925 save percentage. Big boy, huge. I actually kind of wouldn't mind if the Leafs went after him, either him or Laurent Brossoit. Now, what's the X factor for each of these clubs? Starting with the Oilers. I'm going to be indecisive here as usual. I'll start with the defense. Can they keep it up? through these playoffs. They've improved quite a bit, but this Panthers team is a whole new animal that they're facing. Then there's Edmonton's special teams. Can their power play keep chugging? Is their penalty kill going to start cracking? And lastly, yeah, you could just say McDavid and Draisaitl, but I'm going to go with Bouchard. Can he keep racking up those points, especially those power play cookies? Bonus X factor is Evander Kane. Is he still injured, or can he be the player he used to be? Because I think that could be a major turning point for them. Now for the Florida Panthers, the X factor's got to be their punishing wingers, their alley game. Bobrovsky, you could say that. Will he keep his magic in the finals, unlike last season? Is it their depth, their bottom six, which has played deeper than Edmonton's all season and all playoffs long? You could say Barkov, who has a task of shutting down Draisaitl and McDavid all series. Let's move on. Who's got the edge at each position in the forward category? It's so hard, isn't it? Like, these guys got more depth, but they've got McJesus and Draisaitl and Hyman and RNH and maybe Kane. I want to be a chicken here and be boring and just say both. It's sort of a draw. For the defense, I got to go with Florida here. Goaltending, again, I got to go with the Panthers. With the coaching, that's a hard one because Knoblauch, everything he's touched during these playoffs seems to have turned to gold, right? Changing the goalie, pulling players, veterans in and out of the lineup. But Maurice has just been to the final, and he's been coaching for like 28 years? I mean, he was with the Whalers at one point. And hands down, he has the best media quotes anyone could ask for. They're just delicious. So, yeah, what the hell, I'll give that to Florida too. Now, what is my prediction? I think this is going to go 7 games. I hope it goes 6, though, because I don't think there should be hockey until June 24th, people. What are you doing, NHL? To me, this feels like a 57 to 43% split. Really, either of these clubs could take it. It obviously shouldn't be a blowout. So, yeah, I got to go with Florida. Totally. I mean, that's shouldn't be any surprise to anyone, really. But it's great that Edmonton's there. A Canadian team finally getting into the Cup final, and since Montreal during COVID, which sort of doesn't count. For those of you who skipped to the end of the video, though, who do I think is going to win the Stanley Cup final? Edmonton all the way, because they've got so much more depth than Florida, and their goalie stinks, and their coach is a rookie. They've just been lucky to get this far, really. Thank you for watching. Don't forget to catch me at the NHL Draft with live coverage on Friday, June 28th. Also, when NHL free agency begins on Monday, July 1st. Please don't forget to give me a thumbs up, smash that subscribe button, and if you'd like to support me, you can do that through my crowdfunding page called Buy Me a Coffee. You'll see a link down below or just on my profile homepage. Thanks again. Enjoy the Stanley Cup playoffs, and remember to be excellent to each other.